Welcome to my first podcast, my first episode, Reality Time with me, Tabo Banda. Today I'm going to talk about something very interesting. I'm going to talk about illegal immigrants. You know, the issue of illegal immigrants have been in the news for the past few weeks. And then the cause of that is because the leader of the Patriotic Alliance, Gaten McKenzie, in the past have made bold statement of saying that if he would be a president, he will give actually illegal immigrants 48 hours to pack their bags and leave the country. Then after the elections, he went to few foreign-owned shops checking for expiry dates, and then seeing where they comply with the Department of Health, and then they have correct papers to operate. And then Julius Malema of the EFF also came to the party, went few rounds and to check restaurants and supermarkets where they're giving locals opportunities as well, together with foreigners. Then he was pleased with the result. And then another movement that has been on the ground, which is actually the one that created the spark of these headlines, is Dudula movement. With its leader Nhlanhla. They've done a lot regarding this issue. They've been on the ground. They've went to Hillbrow at some point, fighting and checking out whether foreign-owned shops they comply, whether they have correct papers, are they here illegally, checking even those who are even selling on the streets where they comply with the bylaws. They've been doing quite a lot. And then because of they have a broader program, they've also been fighting drugs. They've also been fighting with electricity, making sure that the households they have electricity around the area. And then when this thing was hot and reported all in all media platforms, big media platforms, EFF firstly commented by saying the Dudula movement, they are criminals, they are just vigilantes, it's a vigilante movement, they deserve to be in prison. Recently, the Dudula movement have been minding their own business as they do, like going house to house. Then they were pushing their operations of drugs and then eradicating drug dealers and drug operations in the township. Then they happened to go to one of the EFF members. That's when EFF members, Julius Malema, saw the opportunity to get him arrested. So EFF members around the area went to the police station carrying golf stick, carrying pangas, and all sorts of weapons to go and get Nhlanhla arrested. And then eventually he was arrested, charged with, I'm not sure what he's charged with. I'm thinking maybe trespassing. But the movement claims that they've been doing their operations with the presence of police. All their operations, they always invite police. They will make sure that police are there. Then the Patriotic Alliance responded by supporting Nhlanhla. So I actually saw an interview of Kenny Kunene, Deputy President of the Patriotic Alliance at ENCA, saying out loud that they are in support of Nhlanhla because of Nhlanhla represent what they represent. The stand of drugs and drug dealers in the townships, the stance of illegal immigrants. So they are in agreement. So they will support him through and through. And then he was saying that he saw Nhlanhla in prison. Then he was actually, scared that he might be poisoned. So he had to talk to the police that he must not be given food, and then he must be alone in a cell to make sure that nothing happens to him. In my opinion, regarding this whole issue of illegal immigrants and Nhlanhla and the Patriotic Alliance, in my own opinion, for a party like the EFF, who for years have been saying that they are for black people, they are for the black child, they want the advancement of black people, the emancipation of black people. For their stance, for me, is quite disappointing. And I do understand that they have this policy of Pan-Africanism. They want a borderless Africa. Actually, in their mandate, they actually refer to Africans as citizens of Africa and as citizens of South Africa, and then all white people as foreigners. I understand their stance, but my worry is the EFF cannot start implementing that stance without consultation of other African countries. When South Africans go to Zimbabwe, passports are required. When we go around the world, around Africa, passports are required, legally so. So the EFF cannot try and implement a Pan-Africanism without being in agreement with those countries. So they must first be in agreement with those countries, and they must first be in government, and there must first be a law that says all Africans are citizens in South Africa. And then South Africans are also citizens in other countries. So it can't happen one-sided. So for them to actually not have a powerful stance against illegality is quite disappointing from them. They're actually advocating for destruction, and they are putting South Africa in danger, because this is a security matter. We don't know who is coming into our own country. Do they actually like us? What if these people are terrorists? We don't know. So I'm very disappointed at the EFF, and the manner in which they handled the issue of Nhlanhla is quite disappointing. The EFF have been preaching black people to unite and to work together for economic emancipation. If they had disagreements with Nhlanhla and the Dula movement, why didn't they invite them on the table and actually talk about this and be in agreement about this? But for them to call him out as being a criminal, no. That is quite disappointing from them, and I think that is a career suicide for them. I think for Malema, I don't think he'll ever be president in this country. There was a point that I thought Malema was going to be a president at some point in this country, but I think he just threw that away. He threw that away big time. And then for the Patriotic Alliance, I'm quite impressed, because they've been consistent before even they were elected, before even they had seats. They were quite consistent in their views, and because of their living to those policies that they have, they are living their talk. I'm quite impressed with them, And for in everything that has been unfolding, where is the ANC? What is the ANC saying? I'm not hearing anything from the ANC. The ANC is just quiet. Are they still in government? Is Ramaphosa still a president? Because they are quiet. They are quiet when everything's been going on. They are very quiet. No, I don't think we really have a government here. I think people do as they please, they do as they like, and the government is just quiet. So for me, regarding this issue as part of the solution, I think every one of us, people who love South Africa, South Africans, white, black, Indians, every one of us, we must have leaders like Nhlanhla and the Dula movement in all our communities. In all our communities, we must have this. Because we all know that there's lawlessness in this country. Crime is rising. Police are taking bribes left, right, and center. Metro Police, we all know that they take bribes. We all know that they take 20 rands, 50 rands every single day. We all know drug dealers in our own neighborhood. We know who are the criminals in our own neighborhood. We are quiet. For how long will we keep quiet? Because at the end of the day, when these thieves that we are protecting, when they run out of their resources, they'll start coming to us to rob us. So we must take a stand. We must be like Nhlanhla. We must make sure the SAPS are doing their job. We must create those forums throughout the country, incorporate police in our movement, and make sure that the SAPS works. And which is what we expected from Julius Malema and the EFF. to be quite frank. We thought Julius Malema and the FF will make sure that government institutions, they operate well, they serve people well. So they are folding their arms. And then we thought their overalls there, they meant something, but they were just lying to us. They just used us. They used our votes. So as part of solutions, South Africans, we cannot rely on government to do things for us anymore. We have to stand up and be active citizens. There's trouble in our own country. We must always advocate for peace. We must include police in our participation. And then we saw the example with Dudula movement, or how a small movement like Dudula from one area, Soweto, how much they can do and influence society and to bring about change, because of government has failed us a lot. And also as part of solution, to the new government that will be electing in 2024, because I lost all hope in the ANC. I can't even take my time to talk about the ANC. So for the new government that is coming in 2024, this is the solution. Have decisive foreign policy regarding our neighbors. Have decisive foreign policy regarding our neighbors. Because of whatever that is happening, they directly affect us. Directly. So how we dealt with Zimbabwe, Swaziland, Lesotho, how we dealt with those countries is quite disappointing, because we should have made sure that Zimbabwe is functioning. We should have made sure that the king in Swaziland is not exploiting people, is functioning. We should have made sure that Lesotho is functioning. For our interest, we should have made sure. So that's my parting shot. Let's all be patriotic. Let's all be South Africans. Let's love South Africa. Let's unite against illegality. Let's unite against drugs. Let's unite against corruption. Let's unite against anyone who will try to fool us that the problem is racism. Where I live, there's no white people. We are all blacks. Yet we allow corruption to take place. We allow drugs to take place. So a white man from Waterkloof or from Stellenbosch, he's not here. He's not physically here. So we can unite and deal with those issues here, right now, to make sure that there's order in our country. So we cannot make land an excuse anymore. I'm failing at school. No, it's because of land. No, come on, guys. Come on, South Africans. We can do better than this. I thank you.